Hang around for at least the first minute, folks, because it's going to be worth it. Alrighty, so let's know when we're up to speed here. I can hear myself.
Yeah, that one maybe.
Don't want to do that.
Yeah.
How we doing?
Oh,
Instagram is live.
She's like so
Are
good.
we live on Slick Creations?
Right?
Are we live on Slick Creations, Emily? We are.
Slick.
Are we live on Music Boutique?
Yep.
We are live on Silver Fox for sure. So across Instagram, YouTube, we're over there on TikTok. And hello, everybody. Welcome to what we are calling a live pod because we're inventing a new category to Ask Us Shit. I am John from Silver Fox. He is
Matt from the Music Boutique.
And I'm Rick from Slick Creations.
Our first guest ever.
Yes! So we've been doing this for...
Now, three whole weeks.
3 whole weeks, all right?
Yes.
So incremental growing every single time.
What started as an idea of me texting Matt and saying, hey, you want to go live tonight, turned into now everybody asking us to do this. We've already got people that want to be on. So if you're somebody, if you're a bride or a groom or a vendor, venue, wherever you want to come on, absolutely, you can sit in this seat here. Guest number 1, Rick from Slick Rick from
I got
Slick
eyes on me
Creations.
right now. It's great. No.
That's it, man.
We're covered in vibes.
Yes. So just to kind of run through what we're going to do here, obviously we're monitoring live. If you guys have questions, please feel free to answer. And you know, we'll edit them. We're here to ask you, just ask us shit. We're going to tell you the straight scoop on it. 7 p.m. every week, Wednesday. Mark it on your calendars. We've got the Q&A. And so, well, first thing, with our first guest, I think, Rick, we'll give you the floor to introduce yourself, what you do, and what you're all about in like 15 seconds now.
All right, yeah, so...
I think as long as you
sell yourself for 30 seconds. Sell me this pen. No, anyway, so my name is Rick from Slick Creations. Used to be a DJ for 15 years, and then I transferred into the content world. I saw someone doing it on a wedding I was emceeing, and was like, oh,
I bet I could do that.
I'm doing that right now for free, and they're getting paid for it. So I started dabbling in it, and it turned into a side money to pay for my wedding.
Right.
And it turned into a full-blown business where I don't have to work for my dad really anymore. I'm not DJing anymore really either. It's full-blown content, and it's like amazing and like whoa, owning my own business.
Yes.
You know, it's
0 to 100.
literally,
exactly,
and that's what happened was the business went content right up, and it was like all my brides and everyone to support me. I love you guys. Thank you so much for it. But it's a new experience, and like there's so much more I thought I didn't know about.
Right.
So
you're
really
in the deep end of the pool.
Yeah. I
Yes.
I was a little
Well, and cannonballing right into the deep end.
Cannonballing. Peter, I think I don't see Matt on TikTok. So I want to see. Yeah, I don't know if we can turn the thing to the side. Oh, there you are, Matt. Okay,
I'm here. So
this is a very small set. We're at a bar here. We're not drinking. We should be. Well, although we do have.
We do have tequila.
One of our sponsors is
or should be.
Should be.
All right. Yeah.
If you want a sponsor, we are willing to take early sponsors. Will give you a great deal. But I will say, as a sidebar to that, so one of the first weddings, I think you did a wedding we covered, which was your friend at Larkfield.
Yes.
The Star Wars wedding.
Nick and Heather.
Right? Yep. Nick and Heather, awesome wedding. Yep. And you kind of as a groomsman, did content, right?
Yeah, it was just like, hey guys, like get together real quick, and I was just like, I knew Angela, who was doing video from years from MC.
Shout out to Angela. Yep.
And then also was Amanda, who was the photographer.
Yes.
So I was like, hey guys, like don't mind me, and I just took a few little clips, and
next thing you know, here we are.
Yeah, puts a reel together, and now he's got his own. Your own format, right? Your own way of doing it that's specialer.
We'll talk about that.
More special.
More specialist.
The
specialister.
Okay, so questions. I want to kind of jump in because you did ask questions, and this is about asking us shit. So we're going to kind of go between questions and topics, and obviously we're monitoring live here. So the first question, which will relate to content. If I have a content creator, do I need video? I have an answer to that. But I want Rick to answer.
You want to go first? You go first. It's okay. You go first.
So I will say this. They are two very different things. Video is there. Obviously, it's in a different format. It's widescreen. It's there long form. You're capturing the entire day in long form. You're not talking about seconds and minutes. You're talking about, hours and so on. On average, we shoot 4 to 5 hours of raw footage. So it's definitely a different perspective on the day. I would not say you want to do it in lieu of. I think doing it in addition to Absolutely. But instead of, I feel like you're going to kind of maybe wind up like, oh, I feel like I missed this or missed that. And look, everybody's different. So this is just an old timer here, spewing my bit. But now I'll throw it to the young buck here.
Yeah,
Who does it?
So if you can afford it, do both, always. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you can afford it, you can never invest too much in your memories. So you can have video, you have photo, and then your content, now you get, the triple play. Like, you get everything. Because you're getting that right-away stuff, you're getting the beautiful photos, and then that amazingly crafted video at the end, whenever it's ready. It takes time. But I guess this also now dabbles into how, like, I do my content is that, all my raw footage is meant to be watched in a way for, like, to relive your wedding through someone else's eyes.
Yeah.
But then also all those videos now become edited content where your long video that you're going to get, you watch, you sit down with the husband or wife with the champagne, 1 year anniversary, you do that kind of thing. My stuff is made so that way you have it on your phone all the time, because anytime you go to show somebody your cat, your dog, your wife, whatever it is, you go, hold on, let me show you. And you pull out your phone.
Yep.
So all my things are kind of like made to be where each moment becomes its own little video.
Yes.
And like you said, the seconds and all that. So like first look, 20-second video, and now you have your first look right on your phone.
Right.
So like say you had a rough Monday, and you're like, before I go inside, I don't want to go inside in a bad mood.
I need my pick-me-up.
So you go, let me watch my wedding real quick.
Yes.
And then you go inside happy.
Yes.
So that's where it's like, in lieu of, if you're not into a long video and you don't think you're going to really watch it more than once and all that, then do the content. But know that you'll have at least some type of video to record and have the memories. Again, if you can do it all, do it. Do it all. Great.
Yes.
Do it all. By all
Of
means.
course.
Because we all hang out. We all know each other. So it's like,
And
it's fun.
yeah, and to amplify that, there is definitely an immediacy. We send out sneak peeks of photos and have been for years, and so there's an immediacy that is in society. Like, we want everything like now.
Yeah.
And so when you're able to kind of have that, personally, I think that the triple threat there, get all three, absolutely. But there is definitely a different. You're definitely different. As you're looking at your photos, you're probably going to look at your photos more than you would your video, but you might look at content more than either one of them. And so that's where I feel like it's here to stay. I do think that everybody and their mother is starting to become a content creator, which is why you should hire a professional. We do content, Rick does content. Like, you definitely should hire a company and not some guy or gal who is like, yeah, I'll do it for $500.
Just play on their phone.
I can do content, so.
My favorite thing is in the groups. Hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm just getting into content creation. I'm offering free wedding. I'm like, great. So you have somebody who has no idea what they're doing on your party. And hey, if you can't afford it and that's going to work for you, awesome. But like, again, these are your memories of once of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quality
everybody starts somewhere, but but and also just to jump on the fact of the difference between the video and the content creation, I'm much more likely in a conversation if someone's like, "Oh man, how was your wedding?" or "What'd you do today?" or anything like that. They're much more apt to sit and watch maybe 30 seconds or a minute worth of a highlight reel than they ought to. Well, why don't you come to my house? I'll serve you some dinner and some cake, and we can watch my 2.5-hour wedding video. Yeah, which has its value at certain points in your life. I have a daughter. You have daughters. That eventually they're going to want to see mommy and daddy young and dancing up on a big TV, which is really sweet. But in the day-to-day application. Hey, want to see what happened? Check it out for a minute.
Yes.
They'll sit for a minute.
I don't walk around with my wedding VHS tape, and and so it is definitely. We got questions coming
on reel to reel.
It is definitely. Listen, it's a great thing that has come into this industry that is here to stay, and so just make sure that you hire people like Rick. Or us, but either way, that are great at what they do, because we know weddings, we're insured. You have. You have to kind of navigate. Yeah, and we got a question here. Okay.
How exciting.
What are the red flags a bride and groom need to look for when trying to book a content creator?
Go get him, Rick. Go get him, Rick.
Oh, yeah. I got hate last time. I was
right?
On
Yeah, no. Cue the Rocky music, all right? Go get
Ready?
him.
Yes.
All right. If you... I can't even...
Hold on. You need
we need to break out the tequila.
If you see the footage and it's doing this, an earthquake. Bad.
Yeah.
All right. If it's
or rather, if there's no footage to see.
Well,
at first, like this.
It's almost like the whole point of it is the phones have it where you have a grid now, so everything should be in the middle. If you're capturing say a kiss, right? The dip in the kiss. How are you capturing it in the corner and you only see that half of them? The whole point is you to capture that moment, know where you're standing. So when you're looking at the content, look at the quality of it. You know, I mean, you know, if it's shaky, if it's like slow-mo and it looks like an Android from 2010, or say iPhone users, when you opened up an Android Snapchat and it looked like it's from a PS1, you have to notice these things. Because, again, it used to be, ready, the whole point of content was that Uncle Joe doesn't have to take your videos and send it to you and they're all over the place. Right. Now it's turned into Uncle Joe footage and you got to give me $1,000, but I'll give it to you tomorrow.
Right.
Now, you got to, it's the quality.
If it's not worth it, it's not worth it.
It's like, we might as well just give it to your bridesmaid to do it for free. You're paying a lot of money for your wedding day. Put it into quality. You know, and all that doesn't, you don't really do that where, like, say a photographer, you're going to compare photos. You're going to compare, photo companies. You're going to obviously go by their personalities and all that, but you're going to compare photos. And I don't like those poses, but that they do. But I like these, and that's how it works. When you search your vendors, you got to do your homework. The same thing. Compare the content. If this is like they're going down the line of the like the little bouquet reveal, you're going down the line. And it's like 1, 1, 2, and it's like you're like navigating on a bumpy road. That's not good.
Yeah,
to be honest, that's not good. So compare it to someone else and see what they have. You know, everyone's got their own content style, which is awesome. See which one you like. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think also just from a perspective of business and having, a reputation, like we just said a little while ago, jokingly, everybody's going to get into this space. There's no licensing needed. But venues, I know venue owners who are coming to me and saying, hey, I got, content creators they should be insured. They should have everything that a real business does, just because, things can happen. They need to have a backup plan. It's not, it's not like, a content creator didn't get this. The expectations are going to rise as they do when people start to see more and more of it. I definitely think you should curate it and look at it just like you do photography and video. If you're talking to somebody and they're like, hey, I've got 3 reels to show you, well, okay, I need to see a little more than that. And so, I think there are red flags that are just also, you can kind of sense it. Listen, if it's fine for you to spend $500 and be like, yeah, whatever happens, I'm not the one to throw away $500, but I feel like if you're like, if I can invest in something that's going to give me, peace of mind, reputation, and that's where you're getting recommended to places. Those are important things too.
Caterers, 15 catering halls, just saying.
Yes,
Just get that for you,
it's
buddy.
important. Yes, it is. It is honestly. It seriously
also,
is.
what the little touch, one more last little thing on it is packages. So like, bang for your buck. We're not all like Rockefellers here. So like, your package only includes 2 reels over a course of 8 hours. What? That's a lot of things that have happened. What are you going to make from that? Is it really just paying for raw footage? Like, the point of a content creator is to make content, not just be an iPhone filmer.
How do you put that together?
Content creator.
Create content creator.
We have a package question too. So, but actually, I want to throw to, because Matt's been left out over here. He's
Well,
like,
because I barely know how to work my phone.
What's up?
I don't know how to,
But you do get it. We do have questions here for you. So,
oh, thank goodness.
And this one's hysterical. How old is too old for my DJ or MC?
For an entertainer.
Yeah, no entertainer.
When the bar mitzvah girl says, and you're doing her wedding.
And you're doing her wedding, exactly.
I'm just going to let you guys talk about this one.
Very, very clearly, I am in a fickle business, okay? You are not just providing a service, you're part of the decorations, all right? So to have someone at your party who, could theoretically be old enough to be the bride's father, or who theoretically could be the bride's grandfather in certain situations. Yeah, not John. John is very useful and healthy. Yeah. So very specifically, this came up from a bride who was in the studio who had met with an entertainer who was
older.
Was older.
It's like my age.
Yeah, who was older. Who was
don't
older.
want me doing your
all right. Not that there's any one particular cutoff. All right, but obviously the biggest hurdle would be relating to the bride and the couple. All right, the bigger the age gap, the bigger the generation gap, and the harder it is to understand what that person is looking for. All right, and even the truth is, I definitely find myself having more and more of a separation between. Originally, it was had a loss between the bar and bat mitzvah kids. Now there was a little bit of a loss between the Sweet 16 kids, even though I did 2 last weekend. But I find myself again relating more and more to the parents. And then it hasn't quite kicked in for me yet where I have a distance between myself and the brides and grooms. We still seem to be getting along very, very well right now at the kind of pinnacle of my career. But yeah, there's definitely an end date.
Yes, there's an expiration date,
yeah.
And as an outsider looking in, and you could speak to this as well because you obviously did this for many, many years. But there is an age date on MCs,
on entertainers, on anybody who's putting on a show for you.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Mick Jagger's still jumping up and down on stage,
he's Mick
like
Jagger.
all right,
one of him.
But he's Mick Jagger, exactly right. Yeah,
exactly.
I think as long as you can adapt, because the wedding industry is an ever-changing animal. It literally next year could be something completely different. We have no idea. So
every 18 months you get a whole bunch of new brides and grooms. Yeah.
So it could be where no matter how, like, obviously if you need a cane, but you can't walk anymore. It's time. Yeah. But like as long as you're staying with the times and you can actually do your job well, I think you can still appeal to certain age groups and all that.
100%. There's a shoe for every foot.
Exactly.
All right. And there's many. There's not as far as your appeal to a broader crowd. Yes, there's always going to be second weddings. There's always going to be 50th, 60th, 70th birthday parties that somebody. They're not that. You don't want me at your 70th birthday party. You want somebody you can relate to, just as vice versa. You don't want me at yours.
They might be like, "Hey, we want that young guy at the 70th birthday party." Well, by the way,
if Rick's jumping out of the cake, then that's a different story.
For those of you that are getting married for the first time, we don't really think about second weddings, so no. Okay, so another question here, which I think we could all probably answer. It's it's sort of an industry type thing, which is. Because they're pretty popular now. So you mentioned it before. Are packages the best way to go? And I will jump in on this early because I literally spoke to somebody today about it. Packages are obviously where you go to the venue and they kind of put it all together for you. And so pluses, yes, easy, makes it convenient for you. It's kind of like they did all the shopping. And so you're like, got this, boom. You're not spending hours driving around, going out, Zooming people, calling people, whatever. So there's definitely an upside to that, which I feel like if that checks the boxes for you,
hey, time is money, right?
Time is money, The other flip side of it is I feel like it's also what do you need? Because a lot of them are sort of preset. So you're going to get this, this, and this, and that's it. There's kind of that's what it is. You have to decide, well, do I need this? Can I remove that? What am I going to get? Are there fees involved? Am I paying extra for this, that, whatever? So I think, my answer would be it's to each individual couple. And so if it works for you, great. But do your math because it should be pretty transparent. And so, my 2 cents. So you want to jump in on that now?
I think that the catering halls pick companies that are reputable. They're not just letting any fly-by-nights come in and be like, well, they're part of the package. They have proven themselves in the industry.
Somebody they can count on.
And they're trusted. So that's why, that catering hall is now banking their reputation on those vendors. So, put that into consideration. And obviously, you can do your homework and see and, meet with them. And if not, you can go out of certain things. I get it. To each their own, it's your wedding day. But, they're putting those vendors in there for a reason because, they trust them and they're going to now represent this catering hall. You're going to represent their name. So there's a big trust on that. I think it's very important for packages.
What do you think, co-host?
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as the packages go, for some people, it is the best thing in the world. It's one less thing that they have to waste their time, money, and effort on. And then for other people who maybe are looking for something either very, very specific and that the package just doesn't fit them, or like you had alluded to earlier, packages are one size fits all. And if you're not in that one size, you're outside in either direction. Either you want a certain extra thing on your entertainment, or you want an extra certain thing on your video photo, or you don't like those flowers, or that limo, it doesn't fit me. I have 27 people in my bridal party. An 8-passenger limo that comes with the package isn't going to fit for me. All right, so you have the outliers, and now granted, obviously the packages fit most people. That's why they've designed it. If 80% of the people walking into the catering hall ask for a certain thing, well, package it together. 80% of your people will be thrilled to death about it. All right. So, but to that last 20%, you gotta still be able to get what you want.
Yeah. Do your homework.
Yeah,
for sure. So I think there's a fine line between
I did a package.
And so, right?
I did a package for my
Exactly.
wedding. Yeah.
So, and so we are live here. Just sort of recap to the rest of the world here.
TikTok.
Yes, hi TikTok.
I need my glasses. See the writing.
Oh, yeah.
John, Matt, and Rick here. Ask
Yes.
us shit. Keep sending in your questions. We did do a sort of AMA on our stories earlier, so we did questions that came in. So we're going to continue to answer those. All right. So another one that we got, and I'm going to start with you on this one.
Ooh.
Why is everything retro back in style now? And what are your thoughts? What's your
The internet,
take?
all right?
What's your take?
Retro is cool because of media, because of TV and media. You go on Netflix and there's a bunch of 80s throwback TV shows, and if you're in your 20s now and you weren't even alive in the 80s and you see that, you go, that's kind of cool, and you want that at your wedding, or you want that part of your aesthetic, or whatever, however you want to incorporate it. So I think the media plays a big role in it. TikTok, the sampling of the songs that people make up funny dances to. Well, you want to do that funny dance at your wedding or at any party that you're having. So I think that the outside influences, kind of steer the market's direction.
Yes. What about you?
So touching on like the stuff on TikTok and all that, it's like all these old school songs that the newer generation has no idea what they are. Now they're like, yo, did you hear Rhythm is a Dancer? It's sick.
Yeah,
And they're like, oh, it's like 30 years old. And it's like, oh my god. So now they're hearing these songs for the first time, and now they're enjoying them.
That's a
which
good
is
song.
awesome. And like that's like when we were younger, we were hearing the songs from the 70s. We're like, this is great. It's just everyone's learning about the past, and some things are iconic. Like the bridal dresses, like they're going back to that old school, big, crazy train, thing all the way down where it's like 100 feet long. That people going back to that. The pearls, this and that. Like people sometimes don't want to be like the norm of the modern, and they're like, I want to do nostalgic. Like the video camera is coming back.
Yes.
VCR.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my god.
VHS. Yes.
VHS. Yeah.
Your
I'm like,
Polaroids, John.
Yes,
Your
yes.
people
Yeah.
love your Polaroids.
As the old guy in the room here, I can speak a lot to all this. My new Polaroid, which we
It's brand new. It's brand new. Yeah. All right.
Okay. We're gonna get a picture of this. But so I will say I've been around for long enough to see them all, and 8 tracks, and records are back in. Polaroids are back in. People want you to shoot film. Audio guest books are, I think, a great replacement for what used to be pass the mic around to people. You used to go to the table and be like, "Hey, say something," and people are like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like, I don't want.
But the audio guest book's not on a cell phone looking thing. It's on a beautiful, ornate looking phone.
For
I
sure.
saw that happen though recently at a wedding. I mean, it was a big Italian wedding, so of course the Italians got to be like, congratulations. I was like, that's amazing.
They know what
like,
to do.
Yeah,
They're like,
they
exactly.
did it 100%.
Like,
Oh,
oh,
the
yeah, I've done
microphone
this.
facing this way.
Literally, yeah.
Table shots, which is also like a thing that came
Table
and was
shots,
forever.
yeah, it
and
wasn't-
now we got the sprint, and now we've got the table dash.
Oh,
We've got,
poor
so I
table
feel like
dash.
everything kind of comes full circle. I think style and fashion does the same thing. So I feel like, it is the table
It
dash.
is not explained well. Some
Yeah.
people don't explain it well.
Okay, so explain it. I'm going to take a picture.
All right, fine. As the current working
you're the
MC,
current
yeah,
MC,
exactly.
yeah.
All right. So, let me know when you're ready. All right.
you just-
So,
Natural.
the table dash is when
Actually, you know what? Look at me above
Yeah.
here.
Blue
nice.
steel.
The table dash.
He's got to
steel.
shake it.
We'll show it
So,
to you.
we'll revisit the shaking. But a table dash is when the bride and groom want to take pictures with every single one of the guests at the parties. So while all the guests are sitting, either during dinner or dessert, the bride and groom stand in the middle of the room. As the MC, you direct the guests to all stand on one side, and the bride and groom run from table to table to table, pose with every single person. The idea being you could do it in less than one song.
You erase the song.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, if you have healthy and vibrant guests and an able-bodied,
Young people is
well,
what he's trying to say. He's
long
trying to be
story
nice to
short,
them, yes.
if not everybody can get up and move to the side of the table
help.
easily, quickly, conveniently, it's not as easy as you would think on paper, okay? And then navigating, say you have 200, 250 people at a wedding in a room, sometimes squishing in between the tables isn't the most
Elegant.
Yes, that's
the word
definitely
you
the
were
word looking for it. All right, it's not so smooth. Okay, so you're banging into chairs. The bride's tripping over her dress. By the time they get to the last table, they are breathing heavy and sweating. So the first table, the pictures look beautiful and picturesque, and by the last one, you're not so pretty.
Keeping it real. Keeping it real.
And then it's who was in the bathroom and missed it, and they got to run back and do that table again because Uncle whomever just got back.
But it does save 45 minutes instead of going table to table and doing the whole.
Yeah.
Here's your card. Take a photo with me. So we like partying, so it's fine.
Yeah.
There's also the thing where they sit on the dance floor and the people run to them. But when the people aren't very easily able to walk, then it's like...
got that story, right?
I've met shipwreck.
Yes.
And I've had some very, very...
Bad outcomes.
Let down couples.
Let down couples. But don't go back to for having us go to every table again. At least go to the table. If you don't want to race to every table through the course of a song, but don't, spend 45 minutes doing the entire thing because it's going to be nice, documenting, but I feel like...
a group shot.
Group shot, dance floor, everybody.
Invite family to the pre-wedding photo shoot and get your formals done formally. Yeah.
So you were a... DJ MC. What is?
I want to hear about that.
I still dabble here and there,
right? So what's life after the
So
Emily's beautiful wife is here. Who she's right there.
Behind the scenes.
She's probably like, I'll chime in for that.
Let me tell you something.
It's kind of this. It was like the same thing of like the weekends are planned out years in advance. It's great. Plan everything around it, and I'm not gonna whatever. I was very popular as an MC. I get every request that you go on the Knot and all that's getting sued. Go on there and look at all the different things.
Knot is getting sued.
Yeah, it is
getting sued. Yeah.
All the reviews and all that, blah, blah, blah. And like I've done, like last weekend I did Bride, her Sweet 16. So I've been in the game for 15 years now, and it's cool seeing how everything is... how I'm getting old, I guess.
You were 16 when you did Sweet 16, right? Were you?
I was 17.
17. He was 11.
Getting there. But I'm still. I'm gonna reverse age now.
Yes. Oh, I've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
But
it's what it is. The DJing and the MC is awesome because you're like the fun part of the wedding, right? There's the very stressful grand entrance, which is the main thing. You messed it up, the whole wedding's over. So
Shipwreck.
Done. You're done. You just ruined the whole day. But there's that little bit of like 2-minute pressure, and then it's just fun for the rest of the night. And you are the party for the bride and groom. So it was really a cool experience every weekend. In this wedding industry, you're not in like a funeral home, doing funeral stuff. It's literally you are celebrating a happy day every single weekend.
Yeah. Best job in the world.
No matter what, it is the best job in the world. A happy event every single weekend. Yeah. You can't beat it.
No.
And however much money you want to make, it depends on how much you want to work, and that's the best thing too. No one's gonna tell me how much I can make this shit. I would never be able to work a 9 to 5.
Yeah, no.
And then I went and made my own business, and now I work 24/7. But
you work 90 hours a week, so you don't have to work 40.
But I like it. Right. But transferring from the DJ world to the content world, I've seen all the different stuff of like the beginning, and like you're spending all day with them, and now I understand what the photographers were.
Yeah.
When you see your photographer, you're like, oh my god, hi. I understand why now, because you are spending like intimate hours, like you're hanging out with them literally the whole day, and it's so cool.
You spend
such a cool thing to experience.
You spend a lot of time, 10, 12 hours, so for sure. All right, Peter, how we doing time wise? We have to get over 30 minutes, so just so you know, just for analytics and algorithms. We can stay much longer if you like. If you have questions, please continue to send them in. I will continue to read the ones that were sent in already. And one is like, why should I book you?
Why you?
So you go first.
Okay. So why the music boutique? Why me? Why any one individual person in the entertainment industry? What I tell everybody is this: the day might change. It might be raining. It might be snowing. You might be in a good mood, a bad mood. Something good happened. Something bad happened. Your guests might respond in a certain way, but my and our effort, energy, and enthusiasm never changes. We'll always put forth the same amount, this maximum level of energy to get the best reaction that we can get given each circumstance. So circumstances we can't change. However, the effort that we put into each event never changes. It's always maximum. So and that's the truth. And my poor wife, all right, she will attest to it. Maybe I didn't have the best day that day, but once I'm, on set, or once I show up to that wedding, you would never.
Once you're live.
once you're live, All right.
Internet's forever.
You know, and then also, as a DJ, we all shop at the same DJ store. We all can have the same toys available to us. You buy some speakers, you buy some lights. So the delivery of the gear can always be the same thing. But, and you'll attest to it too, not all gear is created equally, and we also go out of our way to get very high quality gear. And certain instruments.
I'm just gonna say he got a freaking video wall that is ridiculous. Okay?
So yeah,
I'm just gonna say it.
Same
It
store,
is
different aisle.
The
All right,
size of this wall, and it's off the chain.
So as far as relating to brides, what we're offering now, it'll go up on the website actually in just a few weeks, is we made we're bringing an EDM concert to a wedding. All right, so we have a giant video wall. We're using it as a DJ booth, and on it, especially if we're working with John or working with someone like Rick, he can put up his videos. So he was just outside taking a video. People are going to walk in. There it is up on a screen, just as big as the bride and groom themselves. Right, life-size stuff in high definition. And aside from baby pictures and music videos that our DJ's putting together, again, what's old is now new again. VJing was really cool when it first came out, and now VJing is making a comeback. So, and we're going to be at the tip of the spear of that one. So.
Yes, the video wall is sick. So,
it's sensational.
I had a 13-foot one for our wedding, so I understand. It was a rave.
I had a 16-foot one in mine. All right, so
all right, okay.
Before it was cool, and
we
now
can continue this after the cameras are off. All right, Rick. Now to you. Okay, why should we?
Why you, buddy?
All right. So, perfection is my ideal. How can I say this?
We strive for it.
I just want to make sure that you have the most perfect videos to have memories forever, keepsakes forever. I don't care if they're taken on an iPhone.
Forever.
If my phone looks better than your video, then I'm sorry that I am doing extra work. Then it's making sure that you see it and you go, "I'm obsessed." That's my favorite thing to hear. I'm obsessed because I want you to relive your wedding day. Being in the wedding industry for so long, seeing how fast it goes, and now being able to help people relive it, and also experiencing it from my own end, because I had my content shooters shoot for my wedding. I haven't got my video yet, but I have my content, and being able to relive it right away made me so emotional. I cried the whole wedding. I cry every time I watch it. It's incredible. So my whole thing is that I'm going to go into your wedding to make sure that I make something fresh, new, it's different. I'm going to always one-up myself. I have no competition. My competition is myself. And
say it again.
Listen, I that's how I go.
Me versus me. Yeah.
It's me versus me. Everyone has their own styles. I have my style, and people choose me for my style. My wedding content for main character brides. That's my motto. So I want to make you the center of attention that day, as you are. You may not like attention, this and that, but you're going to look incredible no matter what. So my whole thing is I'm going in to make sure that your content is going to blow your minds always, and it's going to be crisp, clean, color graded, this and that. Hours a night that I'm sorry, my wife, I ignore her, and I'm studying how to do this more, how to do this, I'm always looking to do better. And I was on the phone with the bride today. Well, can we make something different? I want to do something a little crazy. What do you think? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. So like, I'm always looking to one up the next thing. Like I just posted a cake video, the cut it. I don't know if you saw it. We got nuts.
I'll Google it right now.
No more cake cutting. Like cut the cake and feed. No, it was like grabbing the cake and feeding each other in the face and everyone dancing, getting crazy. So it's all about the energy, and like knowing how to navigate the day, and not only where cute little things. I'm making sure that when you are walking down the aisle, I'm already over here to make sure I capture that moment so that you can relive it right away. And I get it to you the next day, and also within the first month of your wedding. So like that way you can go, I'm obsessed.
Every other day. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the care that I have for this industry.
Passion.
There's a lot of passion.
I love it.
I
love it.
Passion.
I love it.
Passion is very important. I will say 30 plus years in this industry, like passion is at the core of everything that I've done, the people that we work with, my team. Obviously, the people are incredibly important when you're working with a photographer for 10, 12 hours a day. You need to like them. And so when I
found out.
Yes. When I bring in new photographers, which doesn't happen very often, but it's like really personality matters as much as technical skill, because you can learn how. I could teach you how to shoot something. I could teach you the different camera settings, but if you're just an asshole, like I can't change that, so like your personality matters so much. Listen, you got to like the photos too. There's a different style that different photographers have, and so we are not a traditional sit there with, you know, 2 lighting assistants and doing all the, like it's like you're enjoying your day. It's natural, it's candid, it's in the flow, using as much natural light as we possibly can. But at the end of the day, the clients that are drawn to us like that, you know, and that is what's important. And if you're not up for that and you like something a little more traditional or whatever posed, that's all good. I'm not here to judge. And last, obviously, is the price. I mean, nobody's got unlimited budget, and I think I could speak for all of us. Like, you need to have obviously somewhere where you're like, hey, this works for me, you know,
where it's worth the extra expenditure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
you know,
worth it.
You're not, you know, you're not shopping down at Walmart, you know, but you're at a place where you're like, okay, this is cost me maybe a little bit extra, but I feel like that's worth it, because there are some things that you get to take away, you know, and there are also some things that
you'll never forget.
That
moments, feelings.
People remember 2 things from a wedding. They remember the food and the music, and then we
you
capture
need the video to prove it.
And we capture what you can look back at, which is photos, video, content, and I think that is really why it's such a related thing. You know, what we do
it goes hand in
is
hand.
so interrelated, and that's not to say that other vendors, who we welcome, other vendors out there who we want to have on here.
Oh, a few people asked, so you know, and
we did.
You know, ran into Rick, and he's our very first guest.
He brought me in.
Yeah, man, he was hitching, and I was like, get in the truck, man. Come on,
doing content up the highway. You know?
Yes. He was like, I was happening to capturing some Southern State Parkway content. You guys saw me.
Waiting for another truck to go on the other pass.
I'll wait for something to get stuck.
So, all right. So I think I think a live pod is kind of like what we're rolling here.
Yeah,
because everybody's got a pod
question. Any questions on there?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're.
I mean, the ones that we had gotten earlier, but I mean, like, this is kind of like a pod, and we're gonna cut this up so you get all the best stuff.
You'll get the highlight reel,
all our bullshit in between, which was fun. You know, content. Yes, obviously.
Content.
And so I mean, next week, tune back in. It's kind of must-see TV now, or must-see.
100%.
Must-see.
If you are getting married or you're a vendor in this industry, this is where we got.
You want to be here.
We got
You want to be here in between us. We're going to wind up with some big set somewhere, I know it. But right now, we're here in front of the blue wall at the bar.
But big thank you, Rick.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming down. Thank you for being you and doing what you're doing. And showing to guys that there's other paths to take. There's life after whatever you're doing in this industry. You can always grow and develop into something else.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a shining
you're not
example.
Stuck. You can always do
well, it doesn't have to be DJ into content, but it can always be whatever you're doing into whatever you want to do. So there's always
DJ into florist.
You know what?
DJ into limo driver.
Yeah.
You know, what else can we? I feel like we're pretty buttoned up. I feel like we were pretty. I think we delivered some really good material here.
Yeah, this was good.
I mean,
best one yet. Obviously, it's only going to get better.
It's only
I don't know how we're going to top Rick, but
I like it.
Yeah,
I love the questions. The questions are fun because it's like off the top. Like you're at a showcase and people are like, hey, what do you do?
You know, we need to
do we have a sign off?
We need to get.
You need one. So funny story about this. I got this to come out for like the second entrance for our wedding, and I keep saying my wedding. You're here too.
It was yours.
It came in 2 weeks after we got back from the honeymoon. I'm like, great, when am I going to do this now? And they're like, wear it everywhere.
There you go.
Wear it every day, everywhere you go for forever. Yeah, because
I don't have, my name isn't just Rick anymore. They let me go, hey, Slick. I'm like, all right,
that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's the ICK.
You know how I got Slick, right? How I got that name?
Because you're.
You know?
I don't.
It was a dance move, right?
So
yeah. Tell them the dance. Yeah.
I would slide across the dance floor, and I would break dance at Sweet 16s and some weddings, and I would slide across the dance floor on my head, and it goes Slick Rick, and I had, I don't have a lot of gel, but a lot more gel than Poly D blowout back in the day. So it was like a trail of gel and like a snail. But like I didn't lose my hair though because of it. So, but that was how it came out, Slick Rick, and that was.
So can you now do content with that move?
Literally, actually, I should try that. I have the meta glasses. I'll put them on and do it.
That's it.
Coming to a wedding near you.
There's a wedding in June. Nikki and Giuseppe. His question was, "Are you ready to head slide at my wedding?" And I'm like, "Long as there's not marble, I'll be all right."
Yes. Yeah. No.
Please don't bash your
skull
on
marble.
Scalp
on the floor.
Yes, for sure. So, all righty. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us for another week of.
Thanks for asking us all this shit, man.
Asking us shit.
Asking Rick some shit.
Asking Rick some shit. You know, I mean,
talking shit with
and we will be on next week again at 7 p.m. across all of the places on the internet.
With a guest already preordained, you'll
already pre-booked.
decide
with some
then.
big,
Yep.
exciting things coming.
But we're
and,
booking for 2 weeks out now.
Yes. So if you are a big time talent, you want to, reach out and join us. Call Matt's agent, and he'll get you booked.
My people call your people.
Yes, people will call people. So all right. That's it, right? Peter,
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. We can
Sign
start
it
turning
off.
shit
All
off.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, turn
that off.
Turn this shit off.